Who is Vidal?
Laser focus, thinking about how to make money. That's Vidal. I'm born and raised in a home where love prevails. I love my family. What the tertiary education will give to you can help make you be more valuable.
One thing that I've realized, if you learn from somebody who is from America, Canada, UK, it is good. They can give you good stuff, but there are things that are missing.
The first doubt in my mind was trust. The second one was, is it possible?
I'm trying to be a UI UX developer. What should I do?
Find the right peers. Position yourself with people that can uplift you. If you are an Upwork, you have been there for more than a month or 2 or 3, even 6 months, even a year, do not give up. Continue to send the proposals. If you have never freelanced, then you need to learn what it takes to be a freelancer.
Let me take 1 minute of your time and tell you a bit more about this channel. We are on a mission to educate, inspire, and stimulate the gig economy in developing countries, especially Africa. And we strongly believe that you can contribute to that mission. About 80% of people watching the content on this channel have not subscribed to our channel. And one way you can contribute is by hitting that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and share this content. The more people this content reach, the bigger the channel becomes, and then the bigger the guests we get. We want to bring people that are making policies that are related to the gig economy in Africa, people that are in charge of innovations in our different countries. Now back to our episode. Hello, welcome to another episode of the African Notes podcast. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Vidal Lisk. He has worked 9 to 5. He has had a 9 to 5 job, and then he's also working as a freelancer. So basically he's doing a 9 to 5 as well as doing freelancing, which is amazing. And I think this will give us some really different kind of experience, working as a 9 to 5 as well as working as a freelancer. So he has made a lot of strides on Upwork. He's an Upwork freelancer, and he's got like a 100 job success. I'm looking at his profile. And also is a top-rated freelancer on the platform. He has made very close to $10,000 on the platform. So he's been working there for over 1 year. And we want to talk to Vidal Lisk. Vidal Lisk, welcome to our podcast.
Yes, Mr. Jesse. Thank you very much for welcoming me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So he's calling me Mr. Jesse. That's really interesting.
Yeah, Jesse.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for making it to this podcast. So our objectives here on this podcast is basically to talk to seasoned freelancers like yourself, to learn from you, from your story, what pushed you to become a freelancer in the first place, how you got into freelancing, and how you have built your profile. And I can look at, as I'm looking at your profile, I see that you have a very strong profile, I must say. And this is amazing, looking at your area of specialty and how you have grown, maintaining a 100 job success is like your report card, being a top rated, maintaining that as well. That is not something that is easy. And you even have in progress jobs as well. I know you have exciting clients. So we want to learn from you on today. So basically, I want us to start by asking you a question. So imagine the things your brother or your mother knows about you, right? If I ask your brother, who is Vidal, what would he say to me?
Okay, first thing he will say is the only Vidal Lisk in the world. Yeah, I bet you. Google it. So, and sometimes I talk a lot when I'm around people I know, especially people like my brother. Mm-hmm. And I like to make fun.
Okay.
Joke around. Most of the time also, I'm this moody, laser focused, thinking about how to make money. So my brother will tell you, hey, Vidal loves money. So he always think and go the extra mile to see how best they can put food on his table. So yeah, that's Vidal.
We have something on this podcast that we normally talk about, which is that raw determination. I call it raw determination and raw and aggressive determination, which means like you are ready to burn all bridges to get there, right? You don't have to have like any backup plan or anything like that. You just have one focus, that is, I have to make it, and I'm going for it, and I'm doing everything that can. That's what I'm sensing from what you're saying. So now I want you to tell us a bit about your family structure. How is your family? Like, what kind of family are you coming from?
So it's a nuclear type of a family.
Okay.
My father,
very unique in Africa.
Yeah, trust me. And guess what? We are 7 in numbers, 6 boys and a girl.
Wow.
So, and my father loves my mother very much. I can tell you that, yeah. So, I'm the second son.
Okay.
It's not been hard growing up in Sierra Leone, starting from scratch, being around siblings. Your father is not a kind of a de la creme type of a father.
Okay.
Going the extra mile to put food on the table, making sure, giving each and everyone equal opportunities, educating us. So, but one thing that have kept us going is God, above all, and then the love He showed us.
Yeah.
So, I'm born and raised in a home where love prevails. So, yeah, and that's something I love about my family. I love my family.
That's really powerful.
Yes.
You know, when you grow up from a family where people show strong concern for each other, especially the father, the mother, they are very caring. And I can tell you, I envy you, because this is not very common with most families out there. Some people are really, you have to work. Like, African parents now,
Exactly.
like the love is not too explicit. It's there, yeah. But you are expected. There are expectations, right? So yeah, so you are expressing this out, like there is love. Also, I'm sure there is discipline. Can you talk about?
Oh, there's discipline. Okay, there's this day that my father went to school. I was from 6 year in Sierra Leone, it's grade 12.
Okay.
Yeah, in Western world kind of education system. So it's a funny story, Jesse. I remember going late to school that day, and a few of my friends decided to play twans, want to escape school before time. So immediately I arrived.
We call it a kek.
Kekwe. So I remember when I arrived in school, and then a few of my friends said, "Hey, we are going out." So I said, "You know what? I'm not going inside."
So basically, guys, what he's saying is like leaving school before school hour is over, right?
Yeah.
So you want to escape, you want to go home early. That's what we call kekwe.
That's it, exactly. So I had to live with them. But the principal, the head of the school, he knows my dad very well, so she had to ring my dad.
Wow.
Hello.
That's too bad for you.
Yes. Vidal Lisk has started joining bad boys.
Oh.
So we were at this friend's house, and then my mother called me. "Where are you?" "I'm in school." "No, you're not in school. Your father is in school. Where are you, Vidal?" So immediately I had to run home. So when I reached home, my father called again, said that man should come over at school. I'm there waiting for him. Guess what? He flogged my ass. So my dad is a very disciplined man.
Yeah.
Imagine growing up or raising up 6 boys in Africa.
Yeah.
You have to be a soldier. You have to be strong. Yeah, he's that kind of a man.
Yeah,
definitely.
So let me tell you one thing. Like, I was watching a Nigeria movie where this man said that if you marry 2 wives in Africa and you have all these kids and you are raising them, you are successful. You are fit to rule Nigeria. That's what is a Nigeria. Basically, exactly. You can handle Nigeria.
Exactly.
So I kind of just related that analogy to what you're saying. Like, yeah, somebody, for you to be able to raise like 5, 4, is it 5, 4? 6 kids, 6 boys,
1 girl.
1 girl. Okay, 6 boys, 1 girl. And all of them are doing well, because from what I've learned, in fact, one of them just graduated as a lawyer.
Yes.
right? He has just been called to the bar.
Exactly.
So that's amazing. Like having parents that are doing everything that they can to get you to that level. It's really good to know. It's really good.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the community where you grew up. How did it impact? Is there anything that you can tell us how maybe your community shaped the way you think, the way you behave, considering all the boys that are in that community?
So the funny thing about growing up here in Sierra Leone, I've been in different communities. I've lived in the eastern part of Sierra Leone, of Freetown, the eastern part of Freetown, and I've lived in the western part of Freetown. So people that are in Freetown knows how the eastern man behaves and how the western man behaves. So yeah, but most of my time I've been around the west side of Freetown, and the community that I'm currently residing, it's a community where everyone tends to keep to himself, and sometimes you just sit down and you hear people quarreling. Oh, surprisingly, people will just quarrel out of nothing. But in general, I have few neighbors who are very kind, who are very friendly. So yeah, it's a good thing to be around people who you know you can call friends, and their neighbors as well, because there's a local saying which says good neighbor is better than far away family. Yeah. A far away family cannot be compared to a close neighbor.
A very good neighbor, yes. That's an African proverb.
Yes,
so yeah, that's a good thing. So now, coming to your education, can you just walk us through like your education? Just give us like a summary of what's your education looks like, and how has that shaped your thinking as a freelancer?
Okay, so let me start from the beginning of time for Vidal Lisk. In preschool, I was this smart guy, and then going into secondary school, I become this dull guy. Yeah, so I had to pick up again at final stage in secondary school. I had to know, okay, you know what? Stop being loafing around. You don't have it all. You have to focus. So my education has been like a wave, up and down, but now this laser focus, trying to acquire more and trying to build on my skill sets. So for tertiary education, I schooled at Blue Crest College, Sierra Leone. And then I had to pursue also online course at the University of the People, USA, California. Computer science, Bachelor of Science. So it's been good, but one thing I put above all is to try to empower myself apart from what has been already been scripted in the educational sector, you know. So that's something I find interesting. I'm a friend of Coursera, Udemy, you name them, right? Even YouTube and blogs, podcasts as well. Just try to increase my knowledge.
So this is really powerful, Vidal. Now, most people in Africa, from my own personal experience, they believe that the only way you can learn is to go to these formal educational institutions, right? Don't get me wrong. I know this is really important for you to be educated and become this. You have these certifications, right? Like these degrees and that you have, right? But from what I'm hearing from you is as if self-education has helped you. You've backed, like, you have your formal education that you are pursuing, but also you have another side, self-education, that you really have pursued and that it has helped you in certain ways. Can you elaborate on that, and how has this shaped your career as a freelancer and as a UI UX developer? I think you are UI UX developer, correct?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So first, let me start with the saying that my father normally says. It says, "Agent treachery won't triumph over youth with skills." Okay, so no matter how bad things become, a youth with skill can always live and survive. So I, for one, I'm a guy that always wants to be skillful because I want to be valuable. So in the freelancing world, I can tell you, clearly speaking, what the tertiary education will give to you cannot make you be more valuable, more useful if you want to be a freelancer. This is where you have to increase in your skill set. And to increase in your skill set, I can recommend platforms like Coursera, which are paid, or massive online open courses.
Okay.
So these have helped me greatly to position me in the freelancing world, also improve my skill set. Now I'm a UI UX designer.
Okay.
Full-time job. Also, I'm a UI UX designer also at Upwork, and I'm also a system administrator as well. So it's scary, right? It's chaotic being a system administrator and being a UI UX designer, but it has all been me putting the deliberate effort to make sure I acquire the skill set that is necessary for the job market.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for going into this. Like, guys, this is really, really important. If you want to be, because you touched on this point, Vidal, you said if you want to be a freelancer, especially a freelancer, you need to nail your skills. Like, you need to know who you are. Like, in terms of, you need to know your crafts. That's the way they say that.
Yeah.
You need to know, you need to acquire skills, because that's what people are paying for. It's not about your degree. That's why, as a freelancer, nobody has ever asked me for my certification or degree or something. Yes, some jobs will tell you that you have to have a certification in a particular field. Like for me, I'm a product manager. Sometimes you have like a Scrum Master certification. They will ask you for that, right? If you have that, okay, that's fine.
One more thing, Jesse, there's also another thing that people normally neglect. If you want to be a successful freelancer, you need to have soft skills.
Yeah.
You need to master your soft skills. So take it from me, you need to know how to get the client to give you the job.
Okay.
And that will involve you mastering soft skills.
Yeah, we are going to go into this. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves.
That's it.
All right. So Vidal, this is really amazing. I'm happy like you've taken us through this. So Vidal, you have been a freelancer for a little over a year, and looking at your profile looks really impressive. All right. So, what drove you to freelancing? I'm sure you were working a 9-to-5 job, and then you decided to become a freelancer.
Funnily, I'm still working 9 to 5.
Okay.
So yes, what drove me to freelancing? One thing I will say here, it's an advice to whoever wants to go into freelancing, is to find the right peers. Position yourself with people that can uplift you. So it's a hearsay. I get it from a close friend. I don't know if I should call his name yet.
No.
Good. So and it technically pushed me to take the platform serious, looking at my skill set, and he thinks I have something to give out to the world. And so then I decided to go into Upwork.
The emphasis there is like mentorship, having someone who has the experience, because this is the reason why we have this podcast, to be honest. Like we feel that there are so many African people out there who wants to try freelancing, and they have all of these challenges, these blockers, these other things that are stopping them, right? So mentorship is a very strong, this podcast is like mentoring, right? We talking about these things, speaking about these issues, so it will serve. If you don't have a direct mentor, at least you'll be able to learn from what we are talking about, and then you'll be able to build your own skills if you spend time to listen to the rest of the episodes.
So when I started, I told you that I love money, right? So money is the biggest motivator in this modern day world. So the approach was very simple. This is the proof. Look at my profile. I've started making money there, and I said, oh, this is real, because it's more or less like demystifying Upwork and freelancing online in Sierra Leone, in a state where the internet penetration is low, the banking system is low. But either way, I saw the proof, and I know it's going to work, and I know I can do it. So I go into it, master it, and then started making money there.
Okay. In one of my videos that I was making, like tutorials on the other channel called African Notes Plus, I was talking about this, right? Like, if you are out there and you, by the way, guys, if you want to learn like practical tutorials if you want to learn like practical things about freelancing, especially on Upwork. If you want to know step by step how to become a freelancer or start your career as a freelancer, I would encourage you to go to that channel. As you can see on the screen, it's called African Notes Plus, right? Just type that. There are free tutorials where I take you through step by step how to do this. So I was talking about this, like mentorship, right? And it's not just mentorship from everybody, right? One thing that I've realized is that the freelancing space, if you learn from somebody who is from America, Canada, or UK, it is good. They can give you good stuff, but there are things that are missing. All right, there are things that they miss, that sometimes they assume that they are okay for African freelancers. But when you start the process, that's the time you realize that, okay, probably it's quite different. Like I need someone, maybe the mentor should be someone from Africa. Maybe the person can help me more, because there are specific, unique challenges about African, Did you realize this? Like, there were any questions that in your mind as you were talking, as this person was introducing freelancing to you?
Okay. The first doubt in my mind was trust. The second one was, is it possible? So can I say disbelief? Because but then when I saw the proof, then I know it's possible. So the possibility was there.
Okay.
But the trust, can they trust my skill set, being in the third world, being a Sierra Leonean,
okay,
being an African?
Yeah.
Can they trust
how they perceive you?
Yeah, can they? So when I started, I know if I want to succeed, I need to learn the stuff, the basics. Do not miss the basics. You need to learn the basics. So that was what I did. I learned the basics. Read how to create a good profile and how to position yourself out there. And thirdly, how to apply for a job. So as for the challenges, when I started the freelancing journey, the big challenges I started facing was light and internet.
We are going to dive into the challenges. Tell us what are you doing on Upwork? Like, what's your role? Like, can you talk about your expertise?
My expertise. Okay, so my primary profile on Upwork is I'm a UI UX developer. So I can do low code, no code development, and not high scale code development also on Upwork. And also, I'm also a system administrator. So if you have server issues, of course, you can reach out to me on Upwork as well.
So for newbies, like people that are new, they don't know what a UI UX developer does, right? And can you just go in like a little bit more, like what do you do, and how can someone become you?
Okay. So what I do on Upwork is to demystify a complex idea or requirement and bring it to life. Okay. So if I can put it in another sentences, I make sure the product can be built. Okay.
Understanding you right, because I think we are familiar with your role. So, like when there are requirements, let's say somebody has an idea, the idea lives in their mind, right? And they want to bring this idea to life. They want to see it live, because let's say you want to build an app, for instance. So you can explain the app, what the app needs to do, those functionalities, and then you can write them out specifically, like where a button should be and all of those things, right? Then your role, what you're doing is to bring this thing to visual, like somebody will actually see how the app works, right? Using different technology tools, right? So now I want to take you to the next question, which is, if I am someone who is watching you right now, and probably I want to be a UI UX developer, or maybe I'm trying to be a UI UX developer, what should I do? Like, which areas, what kind of tools do I need to familiarize myself with? What kind of things that I need to do?
Okay, so if you want to be a UI UX developer, if you're out there, the first thing I will advise you to be first is to master your design skill set. So start with basic tools like Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and then you transition to tools like Figma.
Okay.
So these are just for the design side of things, okay? And then if you want to be proficient in the job market, then you need to master the experience side of it,
Okay.
of things. So you need to know, how can I elicit a requirement?
Okay.
How can I get the raw information from the end user?
Yeah.
Or how can I get it from the client or the stakeholders? So, and this is where you need to master psychology. Okay, you need to empathize with the user. You need to also learn design thinking.
Yeah.
And I can recommend for you to look up the Norman who coined the word user experience and user interface design. So he also have a channel that's called interaction design platforms, right?
Okay.
So you can go there, you learn the psychology of design, the psychology of user experience design, the psychology of how to move product from simple requirement to visual. Or into live.
Yeah, something that the user can interact with. So let's continue on the path, right? Now you have this mentor who has introduced you. What was your steps? Like what happened when you were introduced to freelancing?
What happened first, like I said, is for me to know exactly what I want to sell out there.
Okay. So you identify your niche.
Yeah, identify your niche. You make sure you're good at it.
Okay.
You make sure you are competitive and you can beat your peers. Okay. After that, you need to take the deliberate effort of creating the account. You cannot create the Upwork account because there's no way you can get Upwork job. So you need to create your account and make sure you are verified on the platform. Then do not rush it. Make sure you have your profile really set up. So when I started on the platform, I tried to get 100% profile completion, which is good and which is important for newbies that want to go into the realm of freelancing, especially on Upwork.
Before you go into that, right, I just wanted to emphasize some few things that you said. Number one is creating the account. Like, how long did it take you to create your account?
How long it took me to create my the Upwork account?
I mean, before you even started, like you were having some thoughts before.
I can tell you, I knew about the platform, then it took me close to 2 weeks to create the account. So finally complete the account creation.
Yeah. So were you scared to create the account? What was it holding you back?
Well, when I say fear, yes, because I was looking at me creating the account and then me not getting job. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I was a bit naive at first creating the account, but then I had to create the account, and the account creation process is very long. You have to complete certain steps to finally gain access to the platform.
Yeah.
And that took me a few days as well.
Okay. And then another point that you actually made is the point that your profile is not a destination. That is really important for me. Like, I have these 3 things that I've talked about. I made a video about this. Like, there are 3 things that really create that wow impression on a client. And one of those, if you want to watch that video, please go to the African Notes Plus podcast, where I talked about the 3 things. But one of them is your profile. Because your profile has to be iterated. That's the first thing that the client looks at. So I keep optimizing my profile. Every now and then I go there and look at something. If something is not well laid out, I'll go and improve it. That is really important. I think that is, I would say, is a leakage for them. But if you want to know the other 2 things that you need to work on, please go and watch that video. So now you've created your profile and you talked about learning, right? What was it that the things that you needed to learn? And another thing, before we go into that even, you mentioned about how to optimize your profile. You said you should look for people that are within your niche, learn from them, right? Which is also important. I'm bringing out these points because I want people to actually get them, because these are really important things that they need to know. All right. So the next thing is, you talked about learning within the platform. Learning in general. What do you need to learn? If somebody is going to open an account today on Upwork and they've completed their account as 100%, right? What are the things that you want that person to focus on learning?
So the basics. First, if you have never freelanced, then you need to learn what it takes to be a freelancer.
Okay.
Me personally, I watched series of videos.
Okay.
I read different blogs. What it takes to be a freelancer.
Okay. Understanding the industry.
Understanding the freelancing industry, and mastering the art of freelancing. It's sort of an art.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the second thing is, after your profile, how to apply for a job.
Okay.
In your profile, of course, you're going to attach to your portfolio there. Don't miss it. You need to put proof of work. You need to learn also how to apply for a job. Writing your cover letter is a killer. Trust me. Good cover letters are killers. So I had this client that gave me the job, not because I'm the most experienced that applied, was just because of my cover letter write-up. He told me that personally. He said he loved the way I wrote my cover letter.
Yeah.
So you need to master the art of writing cover letter. It's also called proposals, right?
Yeah, proposals.
So you need to master that art. You need to learn how to write proposal. And thirdly, you need to give away. So when you started on the platform, look, don't try to start to make $10 per hour. You cannot. So you need to give away. You need to look at small jobs. It could be $3, $5, petty jobs, boring jobs, and just for you to gain the reputation, for the algorithm to recognize you, that okay, this is a serious freelancer. And then from there, I bet you will have your Rising Talent badge.
Yeah.
And me, on my first 3 weeks on Upwork, after mastering all those things, within 3 weeks to 4 weeks, I got my Rising Talent badge.
Wow, okay.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So, yes.
That's encouraging, actually.
Yes. Within 3 weeks on the platform, I got my Rising Talent badge. Okay. And the reason being because I tried to master the basics.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, there you have it. Like, you need to learn how the navigations of the platform and learn how to write proposals, because that is what represents you when you are not in the room, right? So learn how to do those basic things and learn the art of even talking to clients as well. It's like you need to understand these things. So Vidal, like I like the way you've laid out everything, right? So now the first week, second week, right? How did you feel when you were sending proposals and probably you were not getting any interview invites? How was it like? What was running in your mind?
The thing about sending Upwork proposal is you are actually throwing away money because they have what they call connect. So imagine when you are new to the platform, they give you up to 40 or 50 connects, and if you are not smart enough, you're going to throw it all away. It's like throwing your cash off the window while driving, like just a pink man. You need to master how to apply for a job. And you're not going to get job because you have sent 10 proposals. You have sent 20 proposals. I'm pretty sure just say you have sent more than 50 proposals.
I have over 100. over 100 proposals. And the percentage, I've even had like a guest on this podcast who said like they have like 20% success out of the proposal they've sent, right? They sent like over I think 100 proposals and they only got like 20 invites or something like that. Yes.
Okay.
So
he's lucky. 20%.
So, and this is actually draining what we are talking about. Like if you are sending proposal and you're not getting invites, so most people give up in the first or second week.
Do not. If you want to give up, if you are an Upwork, you have been there for more than a month or 2 or 3, even 6 months, even a year, do not give up. Continue to send the proposals. And another thing also that I will give you, also learn how to use the statistics button on Upwork. So this is where whenever you send a proposal, try to see how your proposal is behaving, how the clients are interacting with your proposal. So if you send 5 proposals, hold on, pause there, and try to see if the clients are viewing your proposal.
Okay.
So if you notice they are not viewing your proposal, then this means you need to boost.
Okay.
But if they are viewing your proposal and they are not inviting you to interview, then there's a problem with your proposal.
Okay.
There's a problem with your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are things you need to know.
Okay.
So you need to track how your proposal is behaving.
Okay. So now I am going to list 3 features, and I want you to tell us first of all the importance of these features on the platform, and you can choose your favorite feature. And this is a trivial, though it's just something like a game. All right. So the first feature is the proposal view. Right. This is a new feature. So now when you submit a proposal, you can now know when the clients have seen your proposal.
Yeah.
All right. Before now, when you submit a proposal, you don't know whether the clients have seen the proposal or not. The only way you know, unless if they contact you directly. So now you can actually know that my proposal was seen by the client, but I was not invited. Right. So that is one feature. The other feature is the badges, right? Like top rated plus, top vetted. Yeah. So the badges on Upwork. This is another amazing feature. The other one is your ability to set when your rates should be increased by the client. Before now, to have that conversation with the client, it was a very tricky conversation wherein you are going to meet the client and tell them, let's say you've worked with the client for 6 months or maybe a year or so. You have to go to them and ask them, can you please increase my rate? Now, you can actually preset that, say after every 3 months, my rate can be increased, or after every 6 months, right? So those 3 features, which one? First of all, I want you to tell us the importance of these features and which one is your favorite.
Okay, so let me start with the importance by how you listed them. So getting the notification when your proposal is viewed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting feature. Kudos to Upwork, but I also want to say it's not new, because if you know how to use the statistics section of the platform, you can still track how your proposal is behaving. Yeah. But it's a cool one because it's a deliberate action that you'll have to take now. Okay, my proposal has been viewed. Yeah. And then to be on alert, maybe they might call you for interview or not. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's cool. The next one, the badge. By the way, that's my favorite. So because the badges, why the badges are important? Like I said, when you start, if you are new to the platform, the algorithm will at least try to know if you have completed all that is required, 100% completion, apply for a job, and then maybe get a job. These simple things and being verified, you can get the Rising Talent badge. So the Rising Talent badge sets you apart from the millions or thousands that are on Upwork who doesn't know the basics.
Who are just you can simply call them. You can just simply call them jokers.
Loafers. They don't know what they're doing. God forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
So guys, I'm saying sorry, guys. I'm just joking, right? I don't mean any disrespect to any person that is on Upwork. But that's why we have this podcast. So it's just a joke. But actually, you can see the reason why I'm saying this. You can see people putting $100 per hour, and they don't have any badge. Their profile is not good, and everything is just everywhere. They are all over the place. You see people putting over $150 per hour without any experience, and so sometimes you just see them and you don't know how to help them, like they are just there. So yeah, so continue please.
So the last one, this is you setting your weight. Mm-hmm. So why that is very much important is if you can maintain clients for 6 months plus, then of course that's an important feature, and it's a good one, because sometimes it's difficult to negotiate with the client, more especially if you want the job more than how the client wants you. So it's difficult negotiating salaries, your rates to go up. But the most important one, and my favorite, is the badges. And why the badges is very much important, so it distinguish the mediocres from the experts.
Okay.
Okay, and then it shows people who are actually doing what they can do and know what they should do. Okay, for instance, I started with Rising Talent. I worked my way up to get the top rated, and now I want to get the top rated plus, which Jesse already have. Soon it will get the experts vetted.
Yeah.
So for instance, if you're a top rated plus, it means you're part of the 50% top freelancers on Upwork.
Yeah.
If you get the top rated plus, you're part of the 3%.
2%.
2%.
Yeah, top 2% on Upwork.
Imagine
So
millions of people that are on Upwork, then you're part of the top 2%.
But yeah, when you are vetted, then you are part of the top 1%.
When you are vetted.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
experts vetted are part of the top 1%. And the good thing about experts vetted is that they link you with Fortune 500. So you don't need to start writing proposal. In fact, you'll have Upwork specialists that could guide you to gain big jobs.
Yeah.
And as for top rated plus, big clients will approach you.
Yeah. Sometimes they send you invites.
Invite directly.
They send you invite directly that they want you to apply to this job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does happen.
Also for the top rated badge also, we are lucky to get invite directly from Upwork talent specialists.
Yeah.
So they will say, okay, you are top rated on the platform and you have 100% job completion. So these badges are important. And these are my favorite because it actually guides you through your journey and it makes you understand that you are at this level and you need to reach at this level.
Yes.
You need to reach at this level.
Okay.
And
it kind of show hierarchy. On the platform.
Yeah. And to get the top rated badge, you need to earn more than $1,000. If you want to get the top rated plus badge, you need to earn more than $10,000.
Yeah, they are. So, but I think those badges,
criteria.
Yeah, they are criteria, and I think those jobs, those badges, actually, they are based on the type of job that you have.
Yes, because long-term jobs as well.
Yeah, long-term jobs, and sometimes if you are a manager, you have to have certain amount of money. Should have gotten like certain amount of money before you can get it. But if you are a virtual assistant, you can, to ask a virtual assistant to get like $2,000 or $3,000. Like for instance, for me, I think it was I have to have something around $10,000 before I can have the top rated plus badge, something like that.
Yeah,
but you cannot ask. I don't think it's the same thing for a virtual assistant because a virtual assistant they are like their average rate is lower. So I think Upwork. I need to check this actually.
Well, yeah, but one thing I can say for virtual assistant for VAs. You need to be on the platform for more than a year and you need to be consistent with your earning to get your $10,000 to at least be a holder of the top rated plus badge.
Yeah.
And I want that badge. So I'm working my ass off now to get the top rated plus badge, which I know I'm going to get soon.
Yeah. Also, there is also other features that you can make use of if you are someone who is a 9-to-5, you are experienced in the 9-to-5 space. There is a feature of testimonial. You can ask your client to send you testimonials, like they can provide a well-written testimonial about your experience and how well or the kind of project that you worked with them. That can help you. And those testimonials are verified by Upwork. So these are all ways that you can, once you've gotten a job that is of high rate, when other clients are hiring you, they are comparing that rate to their own job to make sure that they are aligned. So that is a very good way that you can work on the platform. I just wanted to give that experience out there.
It's a good.
Yeah. So let's move on now. Can you tell us a few challenges, maybe 3 or 4 challenges that you actually face that are real challenges that could have stopped you to become a freelancer or to be effective on the platform? That probably somebody who is currently watching you might not even be thinking about, but they need to consider.
For infrastructure challenge, if you're watching me and you're from Africa, in Sierra Leone or anywhere around West Africa, we share the same story. We have infrastructure challenges, starting with electricity and internet.
Okay.
So these are challenges.
Okay.
I can tell you when I started on the platform, internet was very expensive. Me getting the internet always to be online because you need to always be online, and having the constant power also to make you to be online.
Okay.
There were a few times which I was in an interview and then electricity just cut off.
Yeah, so light, you just lost power.
Yeah. So imagine trying to put myself together. Imagine, man. It was frustrating.
You'll be sweating.
So these are challenges. A part of infrastructure challenge, starting on the platform, don't get too excited. Personally, there's a challenge that I overcame, but it was difficult. Don't fall in love with the clients. Allow them to fall in love with you.
Okay.
So if you are new to the platform,
that's a good one.
Be focused on you getting the job done, and let the clients want to keep you. Because mind you, the clients can decide one day, I'm going to end this job.
Yeah.
He has all the rights to do so.
Yeah.
So if you cannot navigate between what is important now and what is not important now, then trust me, you might get yourself emotionally derailed.
Yeah.
So don't fall in love with the client, fall in love with the job, get the job done, and let the client want you. Okay. Another thing also is you balancing your time on Upwork.
Okay.
The client doesn't have time because every day the client keep you, he has to pay money to keep you. So you need to know how to deliver on time, because if you can deliver on time, then you can get in more clients. Don't settle for less. Don't say, I'm going to settle with this client A and then stall the job process because I want to gain in more money. There are big clients out there.
Especially for hourly rates. Like, I'm going to waste time on this job, and the client know that this job can be completed in 2 or 3 hours or maybe 10 hours, and then you want to take 50 hours to do the job. They will figure it out.
Of course, they will. They'll figure it out. That you are loafing around. It's actually called fraudulent, right? You tend to work while you're actually doing nothing.
Yeah.
Do not do that. And so this from life experiences. And another time also, it was navigating between my full-time job, 9 to 5, and the freelancing world.
Oh, okay.
This is a challenge which I'm gradually overcoming. I won't say much here, but I'm gradually overcoming that challenge now.
And making that switch normally is a very tricky one. It's a very challenging decision, and you have to think about it.
You have to think about it. But if you can master the freelancing world, then come on. Why work 9 to 5?
That's the question, right? So guys, there you have it. And the one that I just wanted to that I relate with is falling in love with the client. And it's easy for you to fall in love with the client. And sometimes freelancers actually take the clients for granted. Right? If you take the clients for granted, that is, you start stalling work. You don't, when you are called for meeting, you go to meeting late. You don't provide proper explanation. You are not prepared for meetings. You just give wishy-washy updates. The client will figure it out that you are not doing the job. And this is the trap that I have seen from my experience from freelancers that I've coached, right? Okay. Most of them telling me that, the client just disappeared. The client just left me, that kind of thing. Because they fell in love with the job, thinking that, I have secured this job, I can go and secure another job. They will have like multiple jobs, multiple clients, and then they are all over the place. They are not, they are incapable of providing the quality of work that they're supposed to do. And I think, in my experience, this is now just I'm giving you leakages, guys. Like, you need to focus on building your repetition when you get to Upwork. Focus on that before you even start spreading all over the place trying to get so many clients. If you can have 1 or 2, build your repetition, maintain that repetition. If you are no longer okay with this client, move on to another client. But don't allow the quality of your work to drop.
Do not
allow that.
Do not.
Because that will kill your career before you even start.
Do not.
So now, Vidal, I would just like to ask you a few more things before we can call this a day. I know I've been asking you a lot of questions. Sorry.
I'm here.
All right.
To answer questions.
Yes. So now, can you advise somebody who is thinking of becoming a freelancer, what steps do you want them to say in simple terms, right? Or can you, before answering that question, in fact, do you think freelancing and 9 to 5, what do you think about those two roles, or those two types of jobs? If I'm coming from the university now, I'm thinking about finding work.
If you're coming from the university now,
9 to 5 or freelancing.
It's a tricky question.
It is.
But it's also depending on your career path. Okay. So if you are a medical student, come on, you need to go to 9 to 5.
you will die to 9 to 5.
Yeah. If you are
if you are a lawyer
also, you need to pupillage, right?
Yeah, you need some 9 to 5 work. You can have some freelancing job. I've actually gotten like a lawyer asking me like whether they can work on Upwork or they can work on freelance. I said yes, but you need to understand some laws in certain countries and all of those things.
But if you're in the tech space, like why do you want to sit down 9 to 5? In fact, 9 to 5 cannot make you become creative. It will limit your productivity. I'm not against 9 to 5. I'm currently working 9 to 5. Okay. But when you work from your space, you have this serenity, this absolute peace around.
Yeah.
You can become creative. You can become more good at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're in the tech space, considering freelancing. It gives you more money, it pays more, and then forget about job security. Much people tend to tie themselves to 9 to 5 because of the security it gives.
Yeah.
Unlike the freelancing world, you have to be deliberate about anything you're doing, and you have to be competitive as well. Whereas the 9 to 5, you can just settle for less.
Yeah.
And then you can be in this small corner office
for life.
No one will know you. Then you will die there. So if you want to be experienced, if you want to tap in the digital space that we are in now, in this revolution, freelancing is the best part.
Okay.
I would tell you, freelancing is the best part, but make sure you know what you're going to do there.
Okay.
Learn your skill. You are competitive, you are marketable, then of course you can make money online.
Okay. All right, guys. There you have it. Thank you so much, Vidal. We're really excited to have you on this episode.
Thank you.
Probably we'll have you some other time. But guys, this is it. And if you like this content and you love some of the ideas that we are sharing, we'll be bringing in more seasoned freelancers who can bring in we have in contact like a lot of seasoned freelancers that have made it on Upwork and other platforms. Those people will be coming here. They will be telling us their stories. So if you like this content, you have to promote it. That's the first thing, because we are not doing this to create anything. We just want to share and create a community of African freelancers where we can have these positive discussions to help not just ourselves, but also to help people that are interested to become freelancers. There is high unemployment in Africa, and our population is youthful. So we need to go into this gig economy to actually help ourselves. All right. So if you like it, smash the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then share this content so that people can subscribe to this channel. We'll really appreciate that. Thank you, and see you on the next one.